BAS Magazine and just BAS as a whole, like we're a multimedia brand. Right now, the stage that we're in right now is the magazine phase. So a magazine is just another way for us to, capture the greatness in Miami and greatness worldwide of Black people. So we started this brand because here in Miami, I don't know if people realize what's going on around them, but Black people are getting pushed out.
You start to ask these questions of, okay, who is behind this really? Is it really the Black person that's behind it? Or is it like someone that's in their ear telling them to show that image? And what's so beautiful about the magazine is that this is a Black man that wants to see the greatness of us, and no one is in his ear. Well, God is in his ear, but you get what I'm saying.
My friends, welcome back to the Smokey Mirror Podcast, where we dive deep into the creative minds that are shaping our culture and inspiring us all. My name is Jordan Jones. I'm your host and fellow creator, and I'm on a mission to spread knowledge and inspiration to help people like you leave your mark on the world. From artists to musicians to entrepreneurs and more, join me as we explore the intentional act of creation and the forces that drive us to do God's work. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Earth Saliva. They are a supplement company. I've been enjoying the ashwagandha, the multivitamins, and of course, the whey protein. You know I be staying fit, staying healthy. So be sure to check out earthsaliva.com, link in the bio, for all your supplements. Stay good, stay healthy, stay beautiful. Now, with that being said, I want to address our guests, Alex and Ali from the BAS Magazine. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thanks for having us, man.
Absolutely. So I'm really curious about what is the BAS Magazine and why did you decide to make it?
Okay. It's actually not an acronym right now.
It's not.
So it's BAS Mag.
BAS Mag. Oh, okay.
Okay, just for right now. But
And what is BAS?
BAS is, that's what I'm saying is right now I can't really.
Oh, okay. You can't.
Paperwork can't really.
Oh, okay.
Can't
Okay.
really say. But yeah, it's gonna turn into an acronym. Right now, we gonna keep it BAS.
Okay.
For right now, it sounds good for us right now. So until we get that situated, what we trying to do, then we turn it to an acronym. But it still mean the same thing.
Can you pull the mic up just a little bit closer?
My bad.
So basically, what you're saying is you have an acronym, but you was working on the legal work.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's all.
So then, tell me about the magazine in general. Like, if people have never heard of it, what is it and why?
So BAS Magazine and just BAS as a whole, like we're a multimedia brand. Right now, the stage that we're in right now is the magazine phase. Me and him have like a whole lot of ideas and a whole lot of things that we want to do, but we just trying to figure out how we're gonna be able to capture it all. So a magazine is just another way for us to, capture the greatness in Miami and greatness worldwide of Black people. So we started this brand because here in Miami, I don't know if people realize what's going on around them, but Black people are getting pushed out of whether their homes, whether in the creative spaces. I noticed a lot of times where I would go to events where there'd be like only one Black person or 2 or 3 Black people and the rest be Caucasian or Hispanic. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we always talk about community, but it's always, I feel like now like that word is just kind of like just something to throw out, just to say it. It don't actually really like mean community, because community to me, for me, it's just like helping others. But for this particular project that we're doing, it's only for us, only for Black people, because there's no space for us, there's no opportunity for us, and if there is, it's the short end of the stick, and it kind of makes people leave the city. I want to bring people to my city. I want people that are born and raised here to get their just due before they go to other cities and do what they got to do. So we do it for Black creators and Black businesses. We do it, of course, for ourselves, because at the end of the day, we just want to create, just like how you did when you did your spots and things like that, about why you're doing it. It's a lot of that in there. So it's like it was a no-brainer to hit you up and see if we can get on here and talk, man. So this brand, how we got started, I used to be in college, and we get to the end of our road where they ask us what you want to do next. That's the first thing they ask you when you about to go to college, or the first thing they ask you when you about to leave, like what you about to do. Because you spend 4 years at these institutions, and you're saying that's a lot of time to where you could think about what's your next steps. So I was on my way to class, and I just said it. I was just like, man, I want to make a magazine. something funky, something like that's gonna be real, something that like, you know, when you walking past, even if you're not even into magazines, that when you look at this, you're gonna pick it up and read it and see what's inside and see who's being talked about and what's not. And it's a positive magazine. You would never, ever, 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 I don't care how much money we make, how much fame we get, you would never see a negative comment about my people in my magazine, ever. Maybe other people would do it, but it would not be attached to us. So I really wanted to make sure, like, we, especially in the time right now, like a lot of us coming up, a lot of artists that's coming up, a lot of creators that's coming up, business that come up, the only time they actually get some type of publicity is when they're doing something negative. Or like, oh, they food didn't taste good. So instead of writing about the other 12 times where they food was good, remember about this one time. So it's just like, you know, just kind of keeping that same energy. If it's good, of course, if they do something, if it's bad, of course, if the food could be better, definitely say something. But if the food was good the first 12 times, why not put them on the rest of the time? So.
I definitely see what you're doing with the brand, and you want to highlight the stories of the community in a way that people don't really often hear about them. And I definitely feel like I'm doing the same thing in a different way. I'm curious as why you picked magazines. It almost seems like archaic, you know what I mean? Like who's reading magazines these days? Why decide to go through all the work? Because I was flipping through this issue, and it's really well done. And I was telling Ali when you walked out, I'm like, I'm sure it was hard to get all this together. You know what I'm saying? We got the print,
get into that too.
the fonts, you know what I'm saying? All of this, like, why go through the stress of making a magazine?
Man, why go through the stress to get anything? Everything is hard. Everything is a process. But for our process, you know, it took us about 2 years to get here. There's a lot of pitfalls, a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations, and it all just come together to make it seem like, to let you know, like, if you really gonna do this, you gotta understand that this ain't some shit you could just wake up and just say, I'm gonna do. You gonna have God gonna test you. He gonna test you. He gonna see if you really want to do this. He ain't gonna never tell you no. He gonna definitely test your faith and test your just your drive about it. So I started magazines because it was just like, man, when I was coming up as a kid, I was able to see people like Jamie Foxx, Taraji P. Henson, Tracy Ellis Ross, Denzel, all posing in the magazine, and it wasn't nothing negative. They was getting their Emmys, they was getting their Oscars, they was getting just their notoriety, and like it was nothing negative. It was like, man, it changed my trajectory as far as my life as a little kid up until now, to see people in a positive light, because that wasn't going on like that. I think that's probably why it was created, and also probably because those like I said, those other races don't highlight us well. So why don't we do it ourselves? So when I did the magazine, I didn't know. I said, God not gonna tell you no, but He gonna test you to see if you still want it. See if you really wanna do it. He never gonna tell you no, but He gonna put you to the test. He gonna put you through some valleys. So, like I said, it took us 2 years. It took us 2 years to get here. I didn't really, as far as like Wild Magazine, I didn't really think about that. It was just kind of like a no-brainer. It was like, man, I got all these tools, all these gifts. I went to college for all this stuff. Why not show what I can do? It had nothing to do with like, you know what I'm saying? Of course, doubt come in. People give you doubt. People send you doubt. But that don't matter. It's just more so like, it's about you at the end of the day, like what you trying to do. And I wanted to make something of myself. You know, I've been to school, and I made my parents proud. Now it's time to make myself proud.
What'd you go to school for? Journalism?
I went to 2 colleges. So my first college, I went to 2 HBCUs. The first one was Edward Waters College in Jacksonville, where I did mass communications. I stayed there for about 3 years before transferring to FAMU, where I did theater. So so that those two really like those 2 schools molded me like really, really well, to where I was just like, there's nothing you can say to me, nothing you can do, to where I just don't feel like I can do it.
That's a great attitude to have. That's something I want other people to feel too, because when you have that, you can take on a project like this where, it's like, you might not say, oh, I'm gonna get rich once I publish this first magazine, but if you have it in you to want to do it, you can still make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Despite nobody else maybe helping or giving support. 2 years, like you said, trials and tribulations. I am curious about those, but I did just want to highlight, like, I do like how you mentioned, like, other races and maybe other publications don't publish us in the best light. They'll see images of, black people with dreads, they look menacing. They're scary. But
It's
in
just,
here,
at the end of the day, it's just a hairstyle.
yeah, I got my guy, you know what I'm saying? He's got cake on his face.
Even some of our own publications.
Yeah.
Right.
Shade Room.
Oh, yeah, because it's cool. Yeah. It's you know what I'm saying? We make money off of it. There's been a campaign of like black inferiority, of showing black people doing like criminal type activities, and that's kind of like our stigma, our stereotype. So I love the idea of getting our image back and presenting it in a way where it's like we're just regular people. We're not criminals. We're not all gangsters. Like, we're just regular people like everyone else.
But the thing that you gotta start asking yourself is, why do they show that image, the negative image of us running around and just doing crazy stuff? And like, you start to ask these questions of, okay, who is behind this really? Mm-hmm. Is it really the black person that's behind it? Mm-hmm. Or is it like someone that's in their ear telling them to show that image? Mm-hmm. And what's so beautiful about the magazine is that this is a black man that wants to see the greatness of us, mm-hmm. and no one is in his ear. Well, God is in his ear, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
That's the beauty of it.
Ali, how'd you get looped into this project?
Well, I would probably say 2017 is when I like started picking up the camera. I started, going to different events, shooting and stuff like that. And I gotta, salute to the homie Carla. She really like showed me a lot about packaging and making sure that you show your, package your business right, put it in like a, you know what I'm saying?
Market it. Yeah, right. Market it.
Market it. And one thing about me is consistency and marketing are two of my biggest weaknesses. Consistency, I've been working on this year a lot better. So I've been getting a lot better as far as work ethic and stuff like that. But marketing next year is something that I want to really tackle because marketing. Yeah. So, that was all like 2017 and 2019. And we all know COVID. Mm-hmm. COVID happened. I shut down. Like, it's like God was telling everybody, all right, y'all, sit down. Y'all been wilding too much. And you chill out vibe, basically. And with me, I was just working jobs and like, I was working a lot of jobs, and I'm about to get into the Miami scene and how I look at it. But check this out. When COVID happened, like everything stopped, and I was just working jobs, this, that, and the third. I seen a lot of people partying. I seen a lot of people doing crazy stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's odd, because they told everybody to social distance, but everyone is partying. What's going on? And so they basically around the country. They were pretty much saying like Florida is just like their own country because just how lawless we are and how insane we run around and just do crazy junk, whatever. Right? I went to this event in Miami. This is the first time I started coming outside. Me and my friend, we went to this one event, and I realized Miami, the event was, it had like a different feel. It didn't even feel like Miami. Yeah, hype beasts running around, throwing shoes. Yeah, where's the weed at, bro? And I'm just like, nah, this ain't Miami, man. This is not even, this not the Miami that I came up on. Mm-hmm. So I sat back in my house a little bit more because I just thought like, man, where's Miami at? It's not here no more. Now, I'm bringing up a friend who recently passed. Rest in peace. My boy Aaron.
R.I.P. Aaron.
He hit me up and said, yo, I want you to meet my dog Alex. This is where I came into the fold. Went to the park. I showed him a script. He was like, damn, this is fire. Okay. Gonna bring you in, man. And you're gonna bring me in, and then like ever since then it was like Full Sail University. Not
Full Sail University.
Not the Full Sail school, but
literally Full Sail. Yeah,
Full Sail.
That's funny as hell.
Ever since then,
So I don't get. You read the script, and what was you thinking, Alex?
It was something fresh. It was something new. Like of course, when anybody coming up, they want to emulate what they've been seeing on TV or what sells. But his was just on a different level. Like it was well thought out. It was well fleshed out to where it's like it's it triggers you in your mind to think outwardly, but it's like you still understand. It wasn't confusing. It was like well fleshed out, and it allowed you to put yourself in that shoe of like, damn, I would do the same thing.
All right, can you give it a comparison? Like, what is it like? Like, if you had to compare it to another movie or just a general, because I don't want to give you the secrets, but just give me a hint. Like, what is
it's
it like?
It's a mixture of Spike Lee and Tarantino. So that's like
nice.
Spike Lee and Tarantino.
I love Quentin Tarantino. I love Spike Lee. So that sounds nice.
And one thing about those two, like they're like students, and he's like a student of the game. Like he allows himself to sit in his work, but he also is not afraid to tweak things or take criticism to like, okay, let me fix this. Because at the end of the day, he just wants to make movies. He just wants to be in the art. He just wants to be the best that he can be, and I like that. And it's like, that's a perfect person to have on your team. Somebody that's willing to learn, take criticism, receive it, take the note, and apply it. Like he's a savant when it comes to the film, man. It's like a lot of stuff that I've seen early on until now, like I'm not surprised by it because it didn't work.
Fascinating. So this is independent of the magazine, or like were you making your own videos, or like how are you getting into BAS? Like where's the intersection? Because I see you have the script. Are y'all making like short movies, short films?
Well, sorry. Well, that's the caveat right there, because now you're starting to think, well, okay, you got the magazine, and you, like you said before, it's like, damn, do people still read magazines? Well, check this out. You look at the internet, because we could have easily just did blogs and that was it. But when you look at the internet, it is so fulfilled with negativity. The internet, they always have something to say, something negative, all that negative. But we were just like, okay, well, let's just hit the street and start bringing that positivity in, so that way it could translate into the social media. And with the movies coming in now, because I have like 4 or 5 realistic scripts ready to go, like I really wanted to, because when we're young, the arts, just in general with the arts, it wasn't really pushed to us as like that, as far as the Black community. And being that you see these people outside of the culture kind of talk sort of down on Black people, saying like, we don't really put the sort of effort in to bettering our community and stuff like that. But they don't realize that there are certain circumstances that happen in the middle of, in certain parts of the history that they always leave out.
Yeah.
And so now what the magazine does is it amplifies the greatness of pretty much Black people. The same thing with movies. And I feel like adding movies onto this whole brand, it helps encapsulate that positivity, basically. And that's kind of what because all it is like visionary.
Yeah,
that's all it is, visionary, really.
I really like that, because I've actually gotten into my acting bag recently. So it started off, I was doing like modeling, then I started getting into like doing commercials and shit like that, and now I've been taking acting classes. I've been doing the whole nine. I'm trying to get into some TV shows, movies too. So definitely let me know if y'all need some actors. But I think it is important to kind of branch out from the same old stories that we keep hearing, because it's like Hollywood, it's a business. They want to make money. You know what I'm saying?
And they going with
whatever they think sells. So they'll make 11 fucking Fast and Furious movies.
And you know what? You know what that comes with?
What?
I'm about to tell you what that comes with. Like 11 Fast and Furious movies, all these Marvel movies. And I love Marvel. But the problem is there's no originality with it. No originality. And now look at the strike. Look what's happening right now.
Yeah.
A lot of these actors are striking. A lot of the writers are striking.
Yep.
And they're realizing how much of pieces of shit that the big Hollywood studios are now.
Pieces of shit.
And so now you start to ask yourself this question: well, where are the actors and the writers are going to go now? It being in Hollywood, now they realize it's trash. Now you have Atlanta. Now you have basically the whole South, the Carolinas, New Orleans, and South Florida. And when they come down here, they're going to be asking, okay, well, who is it that we're going to have to, go to for as directors and stuff like that?
Ali and BAS, BAS Media.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, there it is.
Okay.
So also real quick. So all the things you see on our page, we make sure it's very cinematic to let people know that it's not, we're not playing. Like we really really do this for real. So like everything is cinematic. Everything is gonna make you put your eyes on the screen for a very long time. So we really want to just, if we do something like as far as the ad, it's gonna look a certain way. It's gonna look something different to where it's like, dang, they doing it a little different. So it's like whatever we do, we're gonna always go left with it. Whatever we do with media or whatever our next step is, or whether it's the next magazine or just the next plan of what we got next, like it's always gonna be left. So we just really want to tap into like all facets of media in a way, but just do it the way it's not really done. So
have y'all heard of an organization called Black Men Build?
I have. I've been trying to get there for a minute.
Yeah, I was about to say you definitely should pull up. I'm a part of it, and I'll definitely keep y'all tapped in because there's a couple of people that I think would be interested in working. Like there's another guy who makes films, and he just did it was like almost like a poem, like music videos for poems. It's kind of what it was. It was like a short 11-minute film. I didn't even watch it yet, but he's gotten like recognized at different like film festivals, like one in Orlando, and I think he's about to get nominated for another one. So man, I think
that is crazy. Man.
Yeah, I really think y'all want to tap in, meet him, and some of the other people, because some other people who work in would come to like the Black Men Build meetings and shit. They were in the project, so
yeah, I've been
definitely want to link y'all up with them. But I mean, I think this was my impetus, but from starting the podcast, it's like there's a lot of good stories, a lot of good things happening, kind of like you said, that aren't getting a spotlight on them. You know, you don't hear about it. We got to have more collaboration and interconnectivity. Like, oh yeah, I know Ali. I hooked him up with Lex, my guy who makes the documentaries and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing is.
And you know what?
Powerful.
Like you said, with collaborations, but not only collab, but we need to break the simulation of like. And I know Kanye said this one time, but like we have to break that simulation of like, damn, this projection of that black people or black men ain't shit. Bro, there is like mad black men out here that's putting in work, and y'all don't want to like show that shit.
Right.
And I hate that shit. Like that's why I hate shit like Shade Room. That's why I hate shit like just the main publications and stuff like that.
And them shits is owned by like Arab people, or you know what I'm saying? It's not even somebody like me or you behind that shit. It's just people who want to make a quick buck off of social media. I mean, I seen. I think it was Daily Loud. The dude who started Daily Loud, he was getting big checks from Twitter. It's like. You know,
it's all bad stuff.
It's all bullshit. You know, the same old like ladies. If he not paying for $200, are you getting? You know what I'm saying? The same old recycled conversations.
It's only who's getting interviewed for that stuff. It's always the black people. Black people are always getting interviewed for that same thing. And it's
goofy.
Is designed to hold us back to where we no longer talking about what we should be supposed to be talking about.
Have y'all seen they clone Tyrone?
I love that.
I've seen that.
The best movie that has came out this year.
No, dead ass. That's what me and my boy was just saying. Like that movie hit it on the head.
That movie,
yeah, dude.
I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna keep it a bean. So, They Clone Tyrone is like there's a street here in Miami, like going straight down. I don't know if it's not 27, but it's like right where that you guys know where the cave is. The cave lounge. Okay, so it's like.
Okay. I know where 27th is at.
But it's not. Yeah, it's not on 27th. It's a lounge called The Cave. It's a nice club.
Okay.
When you go right down that street, there's nothing but liquor stores, chicken spots, liquor store, funeral home, chicken spot, funeral home, chicken spot. Right before you get over to where Moore Park is.
Yeah.
So that street, that whole street right there, liquor store, funeral home, next to a liquor store. So it's like all of this is like really designed to keep us trapped. That's why everybody's like, yo, this is the trap, this is the trap.
Yeah.
And we found ways to find positive stuff in the trap, but a trap is a trap.
Yeah.
So They Clone Tyrone basically, and the only way you can get away with stuff like that is if you make it a comedy. If They Clone Tyrone was a drama, that would never come out.
Nah.
It would never come out.
Y'all want to know?
Because they did it, which is very, very smart. That they knew that for a fact. If I make this into a movie, the only what's the most relatable thing that black people can relate to? What we all do sitting right now. If there was no mics in here, no nothing here, it's just a common conversation. Somebody in here gonna crack a joke.
Yeah.
We relate to that. That's how we talk. That's another form of language. So it's like they knew for a fact if they turn this into a comedy, something that'll get black people to watch it, they're gonna watch it. It's a better chance, it's a higher chance. And I like the fact that how they use music. They use a certain type of music, a certain type of sound, certain type of key to be like to lock you in. That first 10 minutes, that first minute, that song where it goes like I'm talking to you specifically, like something like that, something similar as that. Yeah, I was locked in. I was like, bet, because they already using the universal language is music, but it's only to get a certain type of people to pay attention.
Yeah, and so, my fault.
My bad. So, yeah. So the first thing you see is a liquor store. We know what. I don't care where you at in Miami. You know a liquor store.
Yep.
Liquor store is on every corner like a McDonald's, on every corner like a Popeyes.
Yep.
And it's only in the hood. And I seen like walking down, even walking down the street, you're gonna pass at least 5 chicken spots, 5 beauty supply stores that we don't own. None of this stuff we don't own, but it's always in our hood. It make it hard for us to get a business. But if you get in a restaurant and you selling chicken, he owe $10,000. He owe $100,000 because you keeping they. It's a reason why they do that. So we got to go to the city and get things written off, signed off on it, because if it's anything positive, they're gonna deny you. That's why you always got barbershops, beauty salons, chicken spots, liquor stores, funeral homes. That's all I see. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until you get over till you get over Moore Park, and then you get to the art. But that art not for us. Ain't nobody nobody like us in them studios. Nobody like. I found one black dude over that before I go over that hill that got his own studio, great studio. But it's just like you gotta search for it. They don't publicize it as much as they do the white studios or the Hispanic studios. So yeah, my bad. I went on a tangent, but
no, I feel you.
Yeah.
You was gonna say something, Ali, about the movie?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say the part about Jamie Foxx. It was just interesting how, like, you know, the thing that happened to him.
Yeah.
And then after realizing, like, and I saw the movie and everything. The movie is fantastic. It's beautiful, and it definitely tells that whole message of, like, when they was in the club, you know, dancing and stuff like that. And I said,
it's a lot of artists that they was playing that it sounded like somebody I know.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say the name. It sounded like,
and then like, I got old heads who would tell me stuff from years ago and be like, it's the reason why they play them type of rappers on the radio, and then y'all be so easily hooked to it because it's a certain melody and a certain frequency that they tap into, a low frequency at that.
Yeah.
And when he said that, I didn't understand that at that point. I watched this movie and I said, yo, fam.
No, it makes so much sense, because when you think about what the world is, it really is vibrations and frequency. You know what I'm saying? Most physical matter is an illusion. So it's like, if we're tuning into frequencies that can get people to do things, obviously with science and the way that we have technology, they're going to easily figure things out, studying us like literally like guinea pigs. And so it's like, when people, it's like, you don't want to stifle creativity. You want to let artists make whatever they want to make. But it's different when the state is sanctioning it. You know, you're hearing it on the radio. You're seeing it at basketball games. It's like, we don't need children rapping about literally murdering other black people. Knock his dreads off, hit him in his spine. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's some crazy ass shit, and that's not normal.
You know something else about music? Because I do music too, but like, I'm gonna tell you like this, right? With music is, I can name about 10, 11 rappers. I can roll my tongue and name them right now about who talk about positive stuff and who talk about, like, mental health, a man's mental health and stuff like that. It's a whole bunch of them. Problem is, you barely hear them on the radio. Yeah. You barely even hear Kendrick on the radio.
Right.
Like that. You hear J. Cole, because you know the new Dirk song that he put out.
Yeah.
But you know, they just add like a sprinkle of positivity, kind of like the same thing what Lil Baby did. He put out a song and they played it because it had a little bit of positivity, but they said, let's sprinkle that in.
They give you just enough.
Exactly.
Because I remember when NLE Chopper had that little positivity stint, and then that boy came out with the high here. It's like, I've been waiting so long, I can't wait to like shoot this nigga or some shit. I'm like,
that was wild.
Yo, this is crazy.
And a lot of it has to do with the labels that they signed to.
Yeah, Meek Mill even said they get paid more to rap about that shit.
Man.
So I mean, it
Atlantic Records. Oh, Empire. Oh man,
Empire.
They be having insurance on them.
Life insurance.
I mean, isn't it really called Evil Empire? Like,
it's like we know this stuff, and we can talk about it all day, but we just somehow, some way, we still end up going back begging for a handout, and it's like we can, like, you know, like how Issa Rae say, you know, don't network up, network to the man or the woman next to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's simple. We know these things, and we still allow ourselves to be begging for stuff. It's like we don't have to beg no more. We've made it far enough to where we can put our money together or put our skills together and make something way better than what they got. The only thing they got is they're able to reach a broader audience. But as soon as we able to reach out into other areas, other broadcasters and all that stuff, it's a wrap. And they know that. Why you think they putting this stuff in our communities, bro? These are roadblocks. If you get past all them roadblocks, then you're on TV. You know what I'm saying? My grandma done watch the moves every day, and I can't count on my hands. I can count on my hands how many times I seen somebody get their praises sung on TV about doing something positive. It's always the same thing in our neighborhood. Somebody got killed, somebody got hit, somebody got, and it's like it's the same. And you don't even have to watch the news. You can literally just hear them speak, and you just already know who did it.
Yeah. And they had that scene in They Clone Tyrone where they had the trap music with the 808s loud bumping. Niggas was fighting, and then they like turned it down to some other shit. Niggas started hugging it out.
Crazy. Exactly.
Crazy.
Music is a universal language, and if it's used for good, it's no telling what can happen.
And it's like ancestral for us too, because we coming from Africa where motherfuckers were beating drums and all that shit. So you hear that 808, it like speaks to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, man. I told my dad, I was like, because he was playing some Ice Cube, and I was like, yeah, this is nice, but I need that 808 for me. Like, almost like it's a drug. Like I've been programmed to really, like, feel like I need some 808s on my shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why do I like hearing music about people murdering each other? People that look like me, forced to live in shitty conditions, murdering each other, is somehow like I'm enjoying it. Like that's some bizarre shit.
And you know something too, man? I know you said something about Africa, man. I could go on a whole tangent, but like with Africa, I see why they kind of look at us a certain way, because like, to be honest with you, that projection that is brought out into the public, once they see that projection, that's like the only, and we need to
come out our image.
Yeah, our image gets the bad image. But I think what this also does, this can expand out to different mediums to help change that projection, that image of us, to where like they can see the positive side that they don't normally see. And yeah, pretty much. I had something else to say.
But no, I mean, that's important. That's why I think a project like BAS is really is much needed, because we need to counteract the narrative that we see of basically black inferiority on TV and popular news. There's a great book by a guy named Tom Burrell called Brainwashed, and he kind of goes over how it's been like a 400-year marketing campaign of black inferiority. So that not only do white people look at us like that, but we look at ourselves that way. And that's why we're so kind of insecure about ourselves, and we reach for materialistic things to make ourselves feel better or different than the rest of the other black people. And so, yeah, it's definitely deep. And I hate that most other races can't appreciate the struggle that we've had to go through when it comes to things like redlining, like how you're just describing that community. When I came down here, I was a teacher, and they showed us literally the red line, the old maps. This was from like the 50s, and they were literally lining it like, all right, cool, we're gonna call this place Brownsville because this is where all the black and brown people gonna be, and we're not gonna give them no loans, we're not gonna give them no fucking mortgages, none of that shit.
You heard about, and y'all already know about that highway going over Overtown.
Oh yeah, of course.
You already know about that. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because you know the thing with that is it was to avoid people from moving in there, because you know the black people was Overtown.
Explain it though. Yeah, explain it, because I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Well,
I know Overtown. Of course, I know what Overtown is, but I didn't know like why it's like that.
Well, yeah, because the thing is, if I'm not mistaken, and like I said, people who watching this can correct me on this as well, because I still got to read up on the whole thing, because it's a science to it. Because if I remember correctly, Miami was segregated. I think Coral Gables, that's where like all the Hispanics and everybody was residing in, because this was a Spanish town. And so when black people started moving in, Overtown, you know, Brownsville, places like, if I'm not mistaken, I think Carroll City, some in Broward, but they built that that pass for the I-95 to go over Overtown, so people can avoid visiting that area. So once they did that, there wasn't as much like
traffic,
traction going on in Overtown basically. But now, and it's so surreal, because now you see people coming in now and being interested in the area.
They got Red Rooster, you know.
Oh, I love that place. I love their restaurant.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's so serious, man.
Great
So,
experience.
but just stuff like that is kind of, it's just sickening to me. And the fact that, like I said, throughout history, people, they always go over these historical facts and people who's watching this probably didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. I didn't know that's why they did that.
Yeah.
A lot about
Yeah,
history and stuff. But
I mean, there's so much and that's why I hate it when people get on and talk about, you know, oh, black people benefited from slavery and like all this type of shit.
Oh,
like,
man.
People are so ignorant about what really happens, and they just kind of like quick to write off our experience.
That's
like,
what I meant to bring up. That's what I meant to bring up. Florida, about just how the laws right now are just insane.
Insane.
Like, what do you think about the laws right now? Like,
I mean, to be honest, I think it's just irresponsible for real. I mean, it's like, why even bother? Like, you're gonna ban AP Black History because of, they said like some queer shit in it, but then we'll redo slavery to say that they benefited. Like, what is the point of that? You feel like that's what I don't get.
There's nothing you can tell me, no matter what it is, no matter how you dress it up, that slavery was beneficial.
Facts.
yeah, man,
There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing beneficial about it, and I think, man, I don't even understand like I understand what's going on. It's very simple. It's very clear. They really are trying to wash us away. Like in Florida. Florida's becoming what it's always been, a red state. But it's full blown now. In 2023, it's been hidden for all these years to where it's like, that's not true. You have people say that's not true, but like what DeSantis is doing right now is deteriorating just anything black, anything to where like I think right now I call these laws and all these changes in the moment laws, because they're not really, I don't think they're thinking about the next 20 or the next 10 years for these kids.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
There's gonna be a kid who has no idea slavery existed, no idea that all these things existed, because it's out of our libraries. It's eventually gonna get wiped away off the internet, off social media, stuff like that. They're gonna try their best to do everything to make everybody else but that black child know who they are, to where they can like be controlled by what everybody else is doing, or they want to be white, or they want to be Hispanic, because they have nothing to look at.
Right.
And it's up to us to teach our kids, like, yo, I don't care what they tell you, slavery was not beneficial. Every time I see that on Instagram, every time I see that on Twitter, I post it, because people need to know, like, bro, like, you got to be insane to believe that.
Insane. And if you disagree, sign up to be my slave. I'll teach you all types of shit.
Man.
Trust and believe. I mean, it's just, bro, I hate it. And like you'll put something like that in the curriculum, but they won't talk about how truly brutal slavery was here in America. They'll always say, you go on Twitter, these motherfuckers always say, oh, white people, everybody was enslaved.
No.
But the way they did slavery here was way different, much more brutal, much more like race based, and it's just sickening the type of shit that they would do.
That's why I always give my love and grievances to Haiti, because let me tell you, the Haitians are they are the strongest that I've seen. And even when I was in high school, when I see Haitians always together, it was a reason. Now I start knowing why, because they were the first group of slaves who rebelled.
I think they were the only ones to rebel successfully.
Successfully. And you look at Haiti now, sadly, I really hope that the country can definitely, I hope things get better there. Just basically what's going on, and I just hope things get better.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, man.
I love to see it's some crazy shit going on in Africa right now, like with these countries kicking out these motherfucking Europeans, and
don't even get me started, man.
That shit is getting interesting over there.
Did you hear about Niger?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They going to I think they just hired those mercenaries from Russia. Like, them boys are, they're not fucking around.
The young black militant leader.
yeah, the young what's his name? Ibrahim from Burkina Faso.
I think, I'm not sure, but he's very courageous.
Yeah,
he's telling Russia like, yo, we're not gonna sit down here and kiss y'all ass like that or nothing like that. We sitting up here we going to war, because I think the president there, the problem is I guess they're saying to like overthrow him or something like that, or reinstate the other president or something like that.
It was like a puppet government that they had in. I think he was backed by the Western countries, but like Russia forgiving all their debt, basically saying like, oh yeah, like y'all boys be free.
And I say to myself, it's interesting that Putin, a Russian, is forgiving these Africans.
The evil motherfucker that we supposed to hate and say he ain't shit.
Yeah.
And that boy is the worst. They banned GMOs in Russia, so ain't no GMOs. Everything organic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
And I think that's why I say this is a very interesting situation that black people in general are in.
Yeah.
Because America, who don't even like us, are telling us that Russians are your enemies, Chinese are your enemies. But every time I look on YouTube, I see Putin or whoever just forgiving these talking to the Africans.
That boy's been making some plays, forgiving billions of dollars of debt. Secure that exactly. That's exactly what he doing. I mean, because now I think the one that Ibrahim is Burkina Faso is the country. I'd never really heard of it until recently.
Yeah, I'm just hearing about it.
But they were like apparently French occupied. They're not exporting no shit to France no more. No uranium, which France needs for like their nuclear power plants, and like gold too. They like took over a gold mine too. It's funny that someone said commandeer because they were like, it can't be stole because it's on their shit.
Yeah.
Like somebody else was stealing the shit. They just took it back.
Yeah, I think it's because they're protecting their assets. I think for Niger, right? I think
Niger,
I think it's because they're protecting all their assets. And I love what Africa is doing. I love it. Africa in general, because they're putting their foot down and being like, no, we are not about to kiss y'all. We done kissing America ass. And that's what happened with Uganda, because Uganda just passed a law about no LGBTQ in our country and stuff like that. And whether you agree or disagree about LGBTQ, I don't think that's the point. I think the point is it's like they're protecting their morals and saying that, hey, listen, this is how we want to raise our children, good, honest men and women, so that way they can, bring babies into the world, whatever.
Yeah.
And America, like, they're like, we're gonna start throwing sanctions on you guys. I'm like, because they legalized it, like, so it's just starting to make me question more so about the agenda of America.
No, me too. I mean, they talk about democracy, and yet we don't have no real debates. I haven't seen President Biden do a real interview in I don't know how long. You know what I'm saying? Like, democracy is a buzzword more than a real thing. Like, do our politicians really represent the people? Yeah. Like,
oh, no.
If you ask people on the street, they would disagree. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fact that we might have Biden versus Trump again almost proves that we don't have a real democracy. Because in a real democracy, people with more merit.
Wait, Trump is running still?
Yeah.
Bro, he gonna get off, bro.
I thought he was going to
that
jail.
boy, he gonna win and pardon himself.
He's gonna get off. He's gonna beat all them charges, bro. The judicial system does not work. So when I hear all them charges, it's one ear out the other. Because, bro, he's gonna beat him. He's gonna beat him.
I mean, did you see what? There's two tiers of system. There's shit for us.
Yes, it's two different.
Broke motherfuckers, poor
Americans.
motherfuckers. And then there's, you know what I'm saying, rich white motherfuckers that can do whatever. Hunter Biden, that nigga, insane.
Oh, my God.
All right, think about this. They want to take everybody's guns away. This boy lied on the gun application, said he wasn't addicted to drugs. That motherfucker's on crack. Videotaping himself do crack. That boy owed more than $2 million to the IRS from back taxes. First of all, how he make enough to get that $2 million? That's besides the point.
Oh, man.
A Hollywood lawyer, friend of President Biden, bails him out, pays the $2 million back taxes. Oh, no problem.
Oh, see, I didn't follow that much.
Pay me back whenever, bro. And so basically, he's not going to go to jail for none of that shit.
That's crazy.
It's two different laws.
Crazy.
Two different Americas that we living in. But.
And that's why we need to have two different types of media. The media that motherfuckers are, you know what I'm saying, don't control, and then the ones that we do control. Because it is important. We need to tell our stories. We need to promote our own images.
And speaking of stories, I know we're having a great conversation, but I do want to show some love to the people that's in the magazine.
Let's do it, yeah.
So the first story that we have in there is Kyrie. He was talking. He's an artist born and raised in Miami. He's now in Houston doing his thing. He's selling out shows. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of eyes on him. So I definitely want to show some love to him. He is like somebody. His story in here is love letter to hip hop, but I also put him in here because he is somebody that is married to the game, which is why the theme I want to get into that too. The theme of the whole magazine. He's somebody who's married to the game. He is a guy who's like I see him. I grew up with him, so he's been in the trenches for a long time, getting his music out, getting people to listen to him, getting people to, just even get a fan base from where he started to where he is now, bro. Like, it's honestly just a example of resilience and an example of persistence, and just for him to be able to not give up, just for him to be able to continue on with his music. He makes great music. He makes music. He has music that has like the 808s. He makes music that has boom bap. But it's all, no matter what beat come on, you're gonna leave with something. You're gonna leave with something. It's not just like how we was talking about the whole shoot 'em up, bang bang thing, things like that. It's more so thought provoking music, but it's something that you can listen to your car on the way to the store, on the way to church, on the way to your girl house. It's whatever you want. But he really is like truly married to the game. So
Kyrique, K-R-I-E,
Kyriq.
So the Q silent, or it's Kyrique?
No, it's Kyrique.
Reek. Oh, okay.
Kyrique. I hope I spelled it right. Probably.
Let's check. Let me look at it. Let me look at him here so we can give my guy his props. But that's dope. You said he's from Houston. How'd you meet him?
He's from
he's from here.
Florida,
oh,
okay.
Okay.
Houston.
Oh, okay.
Right
Cool. Yeah, there you go, Kyrique.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kyrique.
Shout out to Kyrique.
Next time you in Houston, you might need or Miami, you need to pull up on me.
The GOAT.
Definitely made that. We definitely made that connection. And then the next person that's in there is Iman Clark. She is somebody who's born and raised in Columbus, Ohio, who just moved down here to Miami. She is a classically trained dancer from Columbus, Ohio, who's been doing her thing as well. She just moved down here like not a week ago, but a few years ago, and she's been booked and busy. She's been doing her thing. She's definitely a joy to work with, definitely a joy to be around. She is ultimately another person who is married to the game, who's been doing this for a long time.
So wait, hold on. Is this Kyrique right here?
It's Kyrique.
And then she is the now it makes sense.
That's something. Yeah, I'm about to get into
married
that.
To the game. Mm-hmm.
So Iman Clark and Kyrique are our models for the Married to the Game. So when you think about Married to the Game, you're thinking about staying down. You're thinking about through thick and thin, being able to just be there for your partner. In this case, our theme, Married to the Game, is basically it's showing a relationship between the creative and their gift. So, what happens when you, in that storyline, it's showing you what happens when you don't take care of your gift, or you don't nurture your gift, or you don't do the things to let people know what you're doing and what you got going on. If you wait till it's too late, your gift will leave you. Your gift will be somebody else's gift, or your gift or your dreams will turn to somebody else's dreams. Like, you ever had an idea and be like, dang, I know this would be hard, and then 2-3 weeks, months later, somebody else got it. You be like, oh, that's my idea, and then people sue for it. But it's like, you have no paperwork, sir.
Right.
You have no anything that says, okay, I came up with this idea, because you waited too long. You thinking you needed all these extracurricular money, all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, you just need to start. Remember how I said, God ain't gonna tell you no, but He's just gonna see how bad you want it. So it's just like with Married to the Game, like these two artists, like I really call them artists. They're more than that, of course, but I call them artists because they actually are married to the game. Iman said in this article that I asked her was she scared to move down here. She said she's not scared when it comes to her art. She's not scared to drop everything and go. She would do it. She would, whatever it takes to get it done, because at the end of the day, if it's benefiting her holistically as an artist, she would do it. And it's like, she really lives that, like, to this day. Like, she's a joy. Like I said, she's a joy to work with. She's a great woman. She definitely is like the pinnacle of Married to the Game. Her and Kyrique, like, it was a no-brainer putting them in this magazine, because there are people who, that you may not know, but I definitely wanted to shout them out and thank them, because a lot of time and effort went into this, and they were nothing but a joy to work with. And I also want to give love to my boy Chris, who was supposed to be here, but unfortunately couldn't. He took all the photos in the magazine. I came up with the concept. Ali came up with the BTS, did the BTS, and Chris got the shots down that we needed. Nice. And we just cultivated them, make sure it was a storyline within them, and here you go. So with everything that we do with this magazine, with our magazines, it's always gonna have a storyline. It's always gonna have businesses in them. It's definitely just going to It's definitely going to just tell a story. Like, everything you're gonna get is a story, no matter what the theme is. We got a lot of things in the tuck that's coming for our next issue. We're already working on our next issue. Right now, we want to focus really, really on making sure this breathing. A lot more people know about it. A lot more people have eyes on it. So
When did this come out?
this came out June 27th.
Okay, so real
So
recent.
it's real reason. So we really want to give it time to breathe, let people know more about it. That's why we're doing like press runs and things like that.
Nice.
There's a lot more people. I feel like a lot more people know about this. A lot more people. It's in a lot more people's faces that this would be like a really big brand, and then we be able to, of course, like BAS Multimedia is the umbrella, but we also gonna have things off the side where it's like this is our first official thing that we got right now. So we have a lot of things in the tuck about what we're gonna do. But yeah.
Tell me a little bit about actually making the physical copy. Like, how did that?
Okay.
Like, where'd you go? How did you get that started?
So man, I took a trip to West Palm Beach, originally to get some tote bags made. And I had a nice design, and one of the guys that worked there pulled me to the side and he was like, "Yo, what is this for? This is nice." He was telling me, I told him what it was. I said that this is a magazine company for black creators and black businesses. The first person he told me that was in West Palm Beach doing their thing is a brand called Filthy in West Palm Beach. I don't know if you guys know about it, but it's a really big brand. So I went over. I had no intentions of even going to there because I was so focused on just getting these tote bags because I was like, this is nice. And people need to have this. And it was just another form of promotion to let them know what we got going on. So I went up there to talk to him. But I spent about like an hour and a half up there just talking to him, letting him know what we got going on. And I was telling him like, he also does magazines as well. And just the conversation just kind of led to like him telling me about his print shop, about where he gets his printing done. And he gave me the plug, and that's how it happened.
Nice. So y'all just had that as like a PDF first?
It's been ready for about
Facts.
It's been ready for a long time. We just didn't have a printer.
And then the crazy thing too, we was interviewing a lot of people like prior to this. We was like interviewing a lot, but things happen. You feel me?
Oh, we can get into that if you want to too.
Yeah.
So,
but like before you get into that, yo, Jerry, I gotta meet you, guy. You're like amazing, bro. Gotta meet you.
All right, Jerry.
So, like I said, like he was saying, like we interviewed a lot of people. This actually is not like our first thought out plan. We had a lot of things that we wanted to do, but it was also a bigger group as well. But of course, with trials and tribulations in those 2 years, people leave, people stop answering the phone, people hinder the process and things like that. So we had to regroup, but it was like the greatest regroup ever because it allowed, like I was saying, like I went to school for all this stuff.
Yeah,
and a lot of people didn't know that. So for me to actually show what I can do, it really put a bat in my back. Just like, of course, like I was like, dang, I sat with it for a minute, like, dang, what I'm gonna do? But it was only for like a day, because that next day I had to really put in, because I was like, I got people like him depending on me. I got him. I got people like Chris depending on me, Kyrie, Kamon, things like that to get this done. And I just came up with the concept, shot it. We picked it a month, shot it in 2 days, and here it is, man. But I want to say for anybody who's thinking about starting a brand, thinking about starting everything, just do it, man. No money. I had no money. I went broke putting this out. I went broke putting everything together. I just been trying to. I just realized that despite funds, despite situation, that is bigger than me, and like it's a lot of things that need to be done. So let's get it done. So it's like I don't really allow like roadblocks or like financial situations to really stop me, because there's always ways around that. You got people like Ali, who's willing to build a brand regardless of if I'm able to pay him. But one thing, if I'm not able to pay you right then and there, I'm able to put you on to where you can get paid, to where you're not just sitting around waiting for everything.
Yep, and it's also playing the long game as well.
A lot of people, we found a lot of people that was playing the short game. That's why they're not here with us no more. We playing the long game, and it's like we wish them the best, of course. We wish them the best, but whoever not with us right now, man, you just gonna have to watch, and we just really appreciate the journey. We really appreciate just how everything planned out. If I had to do it all over again, of course, I'm gonna say yeah, because it gave me appreciation of just knowing what it takes, knowing what it allows us to show, man. Because a lot of us have gifts. A lot of us, it just depends on, are we able to stick it out? That's just what it is.
That's beautiful. I really want to give you your roses and say, thank you for doing this and congratulations on it, because I know it was difficult. It wasn't easy, but you have a vision and you're serving the community in a way that we really need it. So I definitely appreciate both of y'all for all the work that you're doing. Definitely keep it up. Where can people find you if they want to get in touch and if they want to get a copy?
Okay, so you can find us on our Instagram at BAS Magazine, M, all together. Instagram, that's the Instagram. TikTok is BAS Magazine. To find the actual magazine, it's going to be, of course, bossmagazine.com. You get your orders in right now. We're about to be dropping another set or things like that. So we definitely have, this is the final product right here. We also had samples and things like that. We also had an event to where people could come view the magazine, mingle, eat, chill,
nice,
and just view the magazine and get a preview of it. So this is our final thing. We about to definitely hit the ground running with this. We're about to go full throttle.
Dope.
So yeah.
Ali?
Wisdom is home. Just wisdom is home, no spaces, all that. And my film production company, Lost Home, you could just put Lost Home Films on Instagram. I'm going to be posting a lot more, and I'm going to be working on my short films. I already have some written, but I'm going to be working on filming them. So
Sweet.
Be on the lookout.
Dope. That's dope. Gentlemen, I really appreciate y'all coming on. This has been a great,
thank you for having us,
great podcast. Let's just take a picture and then we good.